Chapter 20.
What do you mean they have an island?
One who shouted. He thrust his long index finger in the direction of Adam and Eve.
They lied to us. They only wanted a peace agreement with us to get close enough to assess our strengths and weaknesses. Now that they have this information, they've undoubtedly shared it with their tribe and they will attack us, and we know virtually nothing about them and their capabilities. All we know is that they kill from a distance of 200 meters.
Everyone except Oriel was nodding. She raised her hand as if to calm a storm.
Alta is the only one I trust in this equation, at least on their side. We need her expertise in this. Her view is that Adam and Eve are exiles from their tribe. They came to this land fleeing the beast. She is no friend to them, but they do know her. They're willing to share their intelligence about the beast, her home base, everything we would need to launch a successful, preemptive attack.
So now we are warriors.
Soen intoned.
We were diplomats yesterday with our presumed enemies, and those enemies are now friends. And their enemies, who were unseen yesterday, are our enemies today. Do I understand that correctly?
Oriel nodded.
Mostly. I don't think we're warriors. Obsidian is our one warrior, not including the werewolves, of course.
But if they kill with their sonar weapons, how does Obsidian avoid that?
Joe asked.
By surprise,
Came a voice from out of the darkness. It was Alter, walking to their fire like someone out for a casual stroll.
the beast does not know what we know. We are not friendly with her or her followers. We simply know that, given her proximity to our land, there will come a time in the near future when she reclaims us or vanquishes us. She cannot tolerate exceptions. All sea dragons must follow her. She will not have a problem with the werewolves, at least initially. Her problem will be with Obsidian, because he represents a legitimate challenge to her role.
And what is her role exactly?
Soen asked.
She wants to be the leader of all domains because that leader has consolidated absolute power.
All domains?
Religion, education, government, military, science, and commerce.
Alter replied matter-of-factly.
This power, what does she intend to do with it?
Soen asked.
She is known to be highly intelligent. Her plans are not shared. No one knows what she wants to do with that power, but rest assured, it is not to distribute.
She bobbed her head for emphasis as she stood at the fire's perimeter.
From everything I've heard,
Obsidian said slowly, gathering his thoughts.
I am the one expected to dethrone this power-hungry beast. To put my life at risk, yet we don't know if she will pose a real threat to us. To the sea dragons, Adam and Eve, sure, maybe they're under threat. But us, and in particular me, we are not a threat, nor are we threatened. We are not even related. We might be gone in the next instant. How can I be a threat to her?
Alter glanced at Obsidian.
As I said, she is known to be highly intelligent and educated. No one knows exactly where she even came from. She is not native to the sea dragons. She is something else masquerading as a sea dragon. But make no mistake, she is not a sea dragon. She will see you, Obsidian, as someone who could make her seem less invincible. Her perceived invincibility is precisely how she built her power. You could erode that, which is why you will be perceived as a threat, whether you think you are or not.
She paused for a moment.
I think Adam would like to speak to you.
Her eyelids suddenly closed, and her body stiffened as though she suddenly became unable to move.
The creature you have come to know as the beast is not of our lineage. She came like you. She suddenly appeared in our world only 2 weeks ago. She is not here to negotiate like the 5 of you. She is here to rule, or at least that is how she is interpreting her leap into this world. She is superior to us in every way. It is very easy for our people to see her as a god, someone worthy of worship, who stands apart from all of the rest. However, we know her for what she is, a power-hungry imposter, willing to organize the masses for her own purposes. And because those purposes are unknown, we left. We are exiles. We want no part of her vision or purpose to taint our own. Our vision is very simple: to be free to be what we want to be.
How would I defeat her if she is everything you say she is?
Obsidian asked.
We don't know, but if her followers saw you, they might think differently about their new queen.
So, I'm supposed to go to this island and what? Fly around, stay out of range of her sonar and fire, and simply show myself? That there's a new dragon and it can fly. Something their beast, I presume, cannot? That's the plan?
Do any of you have a better plan?
What is the range of her weapons? Does anyone know?
So one asked. Silence followed the question like a funeral procession.
We need to meet with this beast, but not with Obsidian present.
Soen said.
Maybe Oriel and Alter would go to represent us. They can fly there. They know the way. They meet with this so-called beast and determine her purpose. They also let her know that others have come to this world the same way she did. For all we know, there are more like us who are here, but have not yet crossed paths. We should assume that there is not a single purpose that one of us alone has, but rather someone or something is organizing our presence in this world. If we could make this clear to her, then perhaps she would work with us.
She could also kill them.
Obsidian remarked with a tone of mockery mixed in. One who exhaled sharply.
I have heard enough. This whole mess is mine to deal with. We, the werewolves, are native to this land. We are the ones who feel a connection to it. Our ancestors have been on this land for a long time. We have a relationship that you cannot possibly understand, both to our ancestors and our land. You are here, hypothesizing how we should deal with this new threat. It is our threat, not yours.
Then let us all assume you are right. What do you recommend?
Soen asked. One who took a deep breath as if to center himself.
I agree to send Oriel and Alter, but only because Alter can speak their language, and Oriel knows where the island is. However, they need to tell this beast that we have an army of werewolves who are fierce and powerful fighters. We will defend this land at all costs, negotiate with strength, not weakness. Telling her to join our team is a weakness.
He winced in a sudden distasteful spasm. He turned to Obsidian.
If you were the beast, wouldn't you see it as a weakness too?
Obsidian swallowed hard, his eyes darting from side to side like a metronome of his mind. He slowly nodded.
I would.
She will not respond well to a threat, veiled or otherwise,
Alter said, her eyes open.
She knows about us. She knows about the werewolves. She has eyes on all of the land surrounding the sea. She will hear a threat, and she will squash it like an innocent bug. It will be like a reflex. We cannot go there and threaten her. I will not go if that is your decision.
She looked around at all of them one at a time, skipping Oriel.
And I would advise Oriel that she do the same. So, if you want our help, we decide what our strategy is. You will need to trust us, not as messengers, but as self-interested survivors.
Alter turned to one who.
Or you can go yourself.
She shrugged.
What is your decision?
Obsidian cleared his throat with a low grumble.
If you tell her to join our team, but there is no incentive, like avoiding a war, then she will decline if what Adam and Alter have said is true. She needs an incentive.
Obsidian said, defending one whose position.
However, you only need to use it if you deem it is helpful in convincing her to be with us instead of against us. I would agree to that.
Soan nodded. Oriel and Alter nodded. Joe nodded. Everyone turned to one who remained silent and unmoving. He finally sighed, shook his head, and shrugged his shoulders. His resignation was clear.
I have no choice but to agree. I will add, however, that you should invite the beast here to meet us so she can see how werewolves look, how many of us there are, and how we are not weak nor bow to anyone, how we are tenacious and will defend our land with supreme struggle if that's what it takes. I want to look her in the eyes so she can see we will not bend to her will. Our land will not be an easy thing to take. Perhaps her sea dragons are impressed by her size, her fire, her wits, her power. We will not be so impressed because to us, our homeland and ancestors are more important.
One who stood after he finished and simply walked away into the night's beckoning blackness. His words were spoken with such passion that all of those assembled could only stare into the fire's depths, hoping their futures were entwined in peace. The alternative was a nameless, counterproductive stratagem that brought all involved backward in time, into that uncomfortable space of conflict that only deepened with time, making history more magnetic and powerful than it should be.